So when we think of medieval people, it can be easy to picture dry, somber faces bent in prayer, or stern saints staring out from church windows. We might think of bleak castles, of knights locked in battles, and of course, those things existed. But medieval life also contained joy, laughter, and music. People danced, they played games, they sang, they drank, they loved. A fire blazes merrily in a great heart. Its warmth washes over you, chasing away the chill of the night. On one side is a barrel tipped sideways, containing a large pile of straw. Straw mattresses and pillows rest against a wall. You spot several tables littered with tankards. Tankards made of tin or wood, their metal counterparts hanging neatly on hooks. On another wall, benches line the floor, while a few chairs stand precariously on one leg. Over in the corner, the merchants discuss the latest trade routes to the east. It's a mirror reflecting society's hopes, fears, and aspirations. It's a tapestry woven with threads of adventure, commerce, politics, and romance. The alewife rushes to restore order, herding the combatants toward the door. She throws them out into the night, their angry shouts fading into the darkness. Once more, peace returns to the tavern, but the atmosphere is more subdued. Some patrons drift off to sleep, their snores joining the symphony of sounds. Only the embers in the hearth remain, glowing like watchful eyes. The silence deepens, broken only by the ticking of a clock somewhere in the distance. The tavern, once vibrant and alive, now feels heavy with slumber. It's as if the very walls are holding their breath. Above us, the moon climbs higher, bathing the room in an ethereal glow. In the firelight, faces become softer, features blurred with fatigue. The world outside fades away. Inside the tavern, time slows. Here, destinies are shaped, alliances forged, and secrets shared. High above us, a single ray of moonlight pierces the gloom, illuminating motes, dancing in the air. The sound pierces the stillness, reminding us of the world beyond these four walls. As I prepare to leave, I cannot help but linger by the fire, contemplating the stories these flickering flames could tell if they could speak. Each ember seems to hold a memory, a moment of joy, sorrow, hope, or despair. I imagine the countless tales these logs have witnessed, the dreams shared, the battles fought, the loves won and lost. Then, with a final glance at the dying fire, I step out into the cool morning air. The tavern, slowly, people stir, stretching and blinking away sleep. The tavern comes back to life, with the clatter of tankards and the murmur of awakening voices. One by one, patrons rise, shaking off the remnants of their dreams. As the first rays of sunlight peek through the window, the tavern empties. The night's revelry over. People step out into the dawning day, each carrying the echoes of laughter and song in their hearts. A spider crawls patiently along a rafter. Outside, the wind whispers tales of distant lands. Through a small window, we glimpse the sleeping village, shrouded in darkness, its secrets safe from prying eyes. They speak of silks and spices, of bustling markets, and faraway lands. Nearby, a group of farmers argue over the price of grain. Their voices grow louder, their faces red with anger. At the table beside us, a knight regales his companions with tales of daring adventures and valiant deeds. His armor gleams softly in the firelight, hinting at the dangers he has faced. A bard strums a lively tune on his lute, drawing gasps of laughter with his humorous songs. His voice echoes with mirth as he weaves stories of lords and ladies, of mischievous fairies and talking beasts. Someone sleeps soundly in one of them. Two men play checkers, their eyes locked in fierce concentration. A dog with a wagging tail snoozes beneath the table. They were also just plain human. And for all our modern talk of balance, we humans still seek escape. We still seek fun. We still lose control. She wears a tall white hat, her hair braided tightly below her waist. Shadows stretch and shrink as flames leap and fade. On the wall, a portrait of a stern-faced king watches silently. Beneath it, to lovers whisper sweet nothings oblivious to the world around them. A dog stirs, shaken off a dream. The cat yawns again, stretching luxuriously, before padding to a quiet corner. "What's your pleasure?" she asks. "Our options are vast. Should we try a mild ale? Refreshing and slightly bitter, perfect for quenching thirsts on a hot summer's day? Or perhaps a strong ale, robust and dark, ideal for warming the body on a chilly winter night? What about a hearty mead, sweet and heady, made by fermenting honey and water? Or a traditional cider, tart and crisp, pressed from apples gathered in the orchard? Whatever our choice, we know it will be filled with cheer. This is the elf. She owns the establishment and has served generations of thirsty patrons. Behind her, a copper kettle hangs suspended over the fire. Its contents boil vigorously, sending fragrant steam toward the ceiling. Shelves laden with tankards, flagons, and bottles line the walls. An assortment of dried herbs dangles from a rafter. From somewhere, a cat yawns sleepily. How do I know this? Because look around you. Look at any pub or bar or nightclub. At closing time, you will find the same scene. Laughing, stumbling, broken, high heels, lost keys, in the desperate search for a taxi. We're purchasing entertainment, community, a temporary escape from life's mundane concerns. The tavern isn't just a place to wet one's whistle. It's a microcosm of medieval society. In the medieval world, the tavern was alive with sound and light and laughter. To understand the medieval tavern, we must get drunk. But wait, please don't drive tonight. The tavern, medieval and modern, is a place of transformation. People shed their usual selves and enter as different characters. Just as actors on a stage, they alter their voices, their behaviors, their moods. A merchant becomes a jester. A soldier relaxes his armor. A lord forgets his rank. A maiden sheds her Everyone enters a space where a different set of rules applies. This is a place of release and risk, of intimacy and abandon, where hierarchies are inverted and secrets are shared. There's a medieval saying, "When I am merry, speak not to me of virtue." And so, if you want to understand medieval life, you must go to the tavern. There you will find the beating heart of everyday existence. So come with me. We are going to visit a typical medieval village, a place called Imagine the smell of baking bread, of cows, of compost, of church incense. Most people are poor. Homes are crowded. Life is hard. Men work in the fields, or as carpenters, or blacksmiths. Women spin flax or weave cloth, or nurse children. In the evening, people gather in a market square. Children play. Peddlers sell fruit or cloth. Musicians perform. It is a time for news, gossip, trade, for courtship and socializing. Then, as darkness falls, everyone heads home, except those seeking pleasure or oblivion. They make their way to a building with a crooked sign above the door. It depicts a snarling boar ready to charge. This is the Blackboard Tavern. Step inside. You find yourself in a world of flickering candlelight, of smoke curling toward rafters, of rough wood and stone. Let us approach the bar, where a stout woman with flour on her cheek leans on a wooden counter. As we order our drinks, the alewife fixes us with a shrewd gaze. After all, it's not just a drink we're buying. Now, let us listen closely to the conversations around us. As we watch and listen, we realize that this place is more than just a tavern. It's a stage where life's drama unfolds. But it's not all smooth sailing. Suddenly, a brawl erupts, shattering the camaraderie. Men grab tankards, their faces contorted with rage. Now, let us turn our attention to the ceiling. The tavern is alive with movement and sound. The murmur of voices, the crackle of the fire, the clink of tankards. As the night deepens, the tavern's energy shifts. Voices grow softer, laughter more subdued. One by one, candles sputter and die, leaving the room in near darkness. Then, suddenly, a rooster crows in the distance. The tavern, silent and still, awaits the setting sun and the return of the night. The candle flickers, casting dancing shadows on the rough-hewn beams overhead. Rain lashes against the window panes, a steady drumbeat to the crackle of the fire. Here in our humble tavern, we cater to all walks of life. Inside, a small group of men and women are gathered around a table, their faces illuminated by a single flickering candle. They are members of the Wandering Minstrels, an itinerant band of musicians who travel the land, bringing news and entertainment to every village they visit. Their faces are flushed, their voices boisterous as they recount the tale of a local drunkard, amidst the merriment and revelry, amidst the clash of tankards, and a murmur of hushed tales. Suddenly, the tavern door bursts open, and a small group of costumed figures enters, their laughter echoing in the suddenly silent room. Their leader. There is a presence, not often spoken of, but always felt. The women of the tavern. They are not merely background figures, but active participants in the rich tapestry of medieval inebriation. Ah, come closer, friend. Not all drinkers were men. Women, especially in ale-brewing villages, drank alongside husbands and brothers, sang songs, made jokes. On feast days, mothers shared mugs with daughters, and grandmothers joined in the dancing. There was danger in this, too. Not because women drank, but because some men feared their freedom. A woman to marry could be called a strumpet, even if she had only sung too loud, but others celebrated it. Mistress Ellen, a widow who ran the Honeythorn Inn, was known to drink stronger mead than most knights. "I've buried 2 husbands," she'd say, "and neither died sober." People respected her, feared her, loved her. To see a woman drunk was to see her unburdened, free of the weight of chores, children, and the church. And in that laughter, when a woman sang and spun, there was rebellion, gentle, golden rebellion, rising like steam from a mug of mulled wine. These 2 men, Thomas and William, are friends who have known each other since childhood. They are known for their hearty laughter and even heartier appetites for both food and drink. In a world with few books and fewer laws, the tavern sometimes served as courtroom. If 2 men argued over whose ox was stronger, they might settle it in drink. A wager, a game, a challenge. The loser would carry the winner's tools for a week, or walk barefoot to the chapel. One such story passed down in Eldugalan was the trial of the cider thief. A man accused of stealing apple cider was given a simple test: drink 3 pints without pausing. If he could stand after, he was innocent. If he fell guilty, he drank he stood, then promptly fell into a chicken coop. No punishment was given, save for mockery and a new nickname. Stories like this weren't just jokes. They were how villagers remembered right and wrong, through tales, laughter, and ale. Ah, so you seek to know the heart and soul of medieval drink culture. Then let us pause here, for music pulsed like a second heartbeat. From simple flutes to rebecks and lyres, taverns buzzed with sound. Songs were passed down by memory, altered with each telling. Part lullaby, part bawdy limerick, part holy hymn. All joined in, even the shyest sang. After a few mugs, and oh, the lyrics, they wove tales of love and loss, of heroes and haunts, of mirth and mischief. And which one will they share with us tonight? Oh, ale, my fairest lady bright, you keep me warm through winter night. Though lips do lie and roads grow steep, you lull me and I drunken sleep. No one remembered who first sang it, but by the time a drunkard was curled near the hearth, snoring in time with the tune, it hardly mattered. Music was magic, binding the weary and the wild alike. And so it is that among our patrons are knights and squires fresh from the jousting fields. As the night deepens, the conversation turns to more somber matters. The flickering candlelight casts dancing shadows on the faces of the listeners, their expressions a mixture of fascination and concern. What dangers lurked within the tavern's embrace? Hold close, dear listener, for the taverns, mirth could turn sour. When the last song has been sung and the last candle snuffed, the consequences stir. Hangovers were not new inventions. The medieval folk had their cures. A thick broth of garlic and leeks, a boiled eel soaked in vinegar, a cold plunge in a stream before dawn. Some swore by chewing fennel seed, others by prayer. One friar, Brother Eamon, documented his remedy, a mix of mint, holy water, and shame. He claimed it worked, though his eyes often told a different tale. There were darker dangers. Too, a barrel left too long could sour. Drink could be poisoned, not always by malice, sometimes by mold or rot. A man who passed out in the wrong place might never wake, and so the line between joy and risk was always present. But perhaps that made the joy sweeter. With their armor polished till it gleams, they swagger and boast of valiant deeds. Ah, Sir Gareth, renowned for his prowess in battle. He swigs from his goblet with a hearty laugh. But hold your hand. Good sir, before we join in your revelry, we must lift the veil on the highborn, the lords and ladies whose intoxication wore a different costume, in the great halls of castles, beneath carved beams and banners. Drinking was ceremony, not just escape, but spectacle. A noble's feast could stretch across dozens of courses: roast boar with apples, herbed quails, honey-soaked pears. Between each dish, a goblet of red wine from Gascony, or a silver cup of spiced ale, so thick it clung to the lips. To get wasted here wasn't rowdy. It was poetic. One might speak in riddles, compose impromptu sonnets to a lover across the table, or engage in a chess match so slow the players forgot the rules halfway through. Still, the outcome was the same. Flushed cheeks, loose tongues, and eventually a head laid sideways on a table of crumbs and wine rings. The Queen of Eldagon, Lady Isabet, was known to sip a clove wine until she began to prophesy. "You'll fall in love with a miller's son," she once told her cousin. A year later, the cousin eloped with one. Whether it was drunken fate or just gossip, no one could say. Within this haven of warm light and shadows, a dozen figures are gathered, their faces illuminated by flickering candlelight, their voices weaving tales of chivalry and daring-do. Are you just passing through, or have you come for more? Well, then pull up a stool, friend, and join us as we return to the welcoming glow of the tavern, where tonight's adventure awaits. Chapter 1, The Noble Art of Getting Drunk. Chapter 2, The Music of the Drunk. Through the open doorway comes the sound of laughter, mingled with the twang of a lute and the rhythmic thump of a drum. Chapter 3, The Hidden Dangers and Remedies. Chapter 4, Drunken Justice and Village Folklore. The tavern door swings open, admitting a gust of wind and a pair of burly peasants. Chapter 5, Women and Wine. Drunken Daughters of Eve. Chapter 6, Drunken Festivals and the Dance of the Fool.